Hey everybody, it's your boy Uncle Fester here. So this is a quick tutorial on how to mod Killer Instinct. I'm going to try to keep it as short and as quick as possible. This is about the 10th time I've tried to make this video and I keep getting interrupted with bullshit. So I'm going to do this, I'm going to try to stay calm and do this quick. I did not write the script for modding this game. I did not write the plugin for Noesis for modding this game. The only thing I know about Noesis is what I learned really quick by modding this game. So what I did is created a basic tool set that includes the script to extract the pack and Noesis, which will use to extract textures. I wrote the batch files. That's it, and created the folder structure. So my tool set is going to include these files. Sorry. That's it. Alright. And I'll explain what install mod is. I'm including it because this is going to be something for modders anyways. And this is a simple way to distribute mods. I don't want to get into that really too tough yet. So let's delete this. Okay. So you take your pack, drop it in the input folder. So the way the characters are split is the primary costume, and retro is the retro costume, of course. Once you put it in the input folder, double click on extract packs. It's going to create the extracted folder and start extracting. So now we go into here, blah blah blah, and these are all the files. Now, alt costume is not his actual. It's not an alternate costume. These are the accessories that you can attach to the characters in the store, whatever it is, where you can give them like a helmet, armor, stuff like that. So you can mod some of that. This is a skeleton file, the HKX file. KI mesh is the mesh, of course. KI text is textures. So these are all textures. KI mat is material files. Those are all materials. With what we have so far to mod this game, which is just an extraction script and a plugin for Noesis, the only thing that we could do is modify textures. We can't mesh swap. We can't create custom models. We can't import Street Fighter 5 characters into Killer Instinct or none of that weird bullshit that people are going to think we could do just because we can make a texture mod. There's no tools for that. As far as I know, nobody else is modding this game, so I don't expect any tools to be created for it unless somebody who's really good at 3D modeling takes a look at the mesh files and understands what they're looking at and creates some type of script for Blender or something um, that'll read this and extract the skeletal mesh from this with the bones in here and the skeleton from here, and then you would be able to alter it in Blender. I wouldn't hold my breath for that. It took people, let's say, 2.5 years to do that for Mortal Kombat 9. So these games aren't just super simple to mod unless there are tools that allow you to do it. So we need people that know how to write tools and that are interested in modding this game to look at the game to write the tools. We don't have that yet. Anyways, I'm going to extract the texture. So you go in the Noesis folder and just double click Noesis. You can go ahead and X that out because it's just dumb shit. Now, when you first launch it, it won't be like this. You're gonna have to go to the folder. It's gonna be somewhere like this. You have to go direct it to the folder where you extracted the files. Okay. Now, Noesis only works with textures. It does not work with meshes or anything else. So all you'll see here is text files. Double click on the texture. It'll populate in this window. Now, I'm not sure what SM is. I think it's the player 2 color, but I can't be 100% positive. But that's what I think it is. I think it's the player 2 color. Like if you were to have the same character, rip their costume 1 for both player 1 and player 2. No, it's not that either because it defaults to the next alternate variation color. So yeah, I don't know what SM stands for. I know CM is the primary color diffuse map. These are Fresnel maps. I forgot what Fresnels are, but you don't really need to mess with these on every character. It depends on how intricate you want your texture mod to be. Then of course these are the accessory color files and Fresnels. You have NM, which is normal map. Here's a normal map right here. It's a normal map, and I don't know what the hell this is. All right, so that's all you have. Oh, this could be specular. Specular map. Yeah, that makes sense. Normal map, specular map. Yeah, okay. I completely forgot about specular maps. Sorry about that. So in order to extract one of these, all you got to do is right click on it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to then need all of these. Okay, so I'm going to export that. You want to export them as DDS. I'm going to show you why once we export them. Because, well, I can explain it. The pack files always have textures in DDS format, which DDS just is just direct draw system. So these are the way that these textures are is for DirectX textures. The game uses DirectX, so there you have to inject it back into the extracted file as a DirectX texture. You can export as TGA for yourself if that's what you want to work on, and then save it as a DDS in Photoshop or what have you, which is what I'm going to do with the normal map, because what I'm going to be doing, the program I'm going to be using does not work with DDS files. So I'll just create the normal map in a program and then copy it into a DDS file. Okay, and then we're going to extract this specular map, and I'll just color that how I want later. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, you can just close that bullshit. You go back to extract it. It extracts it right in the same folder that you're viewing the files from. So you see, there you go. It's my diffuse, which is the C for color, N for normal, and S for specular. So yeah. Now you see how large this is? That's because this is even though it has a DDS header, it hasn't been compressed in DDS format yet. That is because the normal maps in this game are BC5, which apparently Noesis doesn't recognize. I'll show you what I mean. So we're gonna go ahead and open this up in Hex Editor, and you see this is the DDS header. It's 80 bytes. See, length 80. So it has no information in it, and what I mean by that is you look at any other DDS and it'll tell you the type of DDS that it is. This is DXT5. Let's see what the specular map is. DXT5. Okay, so DDS headers are always going to be 80 bytes, other than BC7 textures, which this game doesn't use. So they're going to be 80 bytes. Now this is how, once you save it, okay, I'm going to show you with the normal map. So we're going to open that up in, oh, oops, you weren't supposed to see that. So I'm going to open that up here. We are going to just save it really quick. So you're going to need this to edit normal maps for this game, Intel TextureWorks. I mean, okay, well, that might not be entirely true. I think you might be able to get away with, let's go, where's Intel? Where is okay, I must have uninstalled the NVIDIA one. Oh. All right, well, BC5 is similar to 3DC. That's the number 3. The letter D is in David. The letter C is in corpse, color, Charlie, whatever. Um, Although technically they're different, but it's similar enough where if you don't have Photoshop and the Intel TextureWorks doesn't work on whatever program you're using, you can at least create a normal map for the game. But the game does use BC5, as does every Unreal Engine 4 game. All UE4 games use BC5 format for their normal maps, unless you specify in the engine that you want it to be BC7. They're not going to, they don't use DXT format for normal maps, not Unreal Engine 4. UE3 sometimes, but UE4 no. Anyways, BC5 here is where it says texture type. You select normal map, and that's BC5. See, normal map encoding. These are green normal maps because it'll remove the blue channel. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you. See, now it's the same size, minus the header. So we're going to open that back up. Okay. Now, this is pretty simple. You're going to copy the entire texture minus the last 4 bytes. The last 4 bytes is the footer for a DDS, so you don't copy that. This thing, you through hex editor, any hex editor, I use HXD, you can use whatever you want. You open up the original file that you're modding, the texture. Okay, you scroll down or search for the name of the character. And you see Riptor here, normal map. So, see it's NM, and then you have this null that stops, that separates this portion from the data portion. It's a null terminator. The very next byte is where the texture starts. And you just paste right, and as you see, it'll stop with the last 4 zeros there. Sometimes the footer here on these files will be a little different. So that's why I don't want to erase anything in there. The texture is the part that we copied. So you can just go ahead and save that. And that's it. We've now changed the texture. And that's the same way for both color and specular. Once you have done that, you take your modded file. Alright, so I'm just going to take these two. I'm going to go ahead and put them. See, I'm also going to include this folder to mod and this folder characters, because this is the standard that you're going to need. So in here we just paste the files, that's it. Oh, actually no, sorry. We're going to have to write the name of the character. So let's, I was doing Riptor, right? Okay. So then you come over here, you change this. So what this line means is that everything that's in the mod folder will be written to this pack file. So when you're distributing your mods, you would change this to be the name of the character or pack file that you were working on, so that the end user doesn't need to worry about it. All the end user needs to do is double click on install mod, and it'll install the mod. You should be distributing your mods if you want to do it easy. I mean, if you come up with a different way, that's fine. I'm not saying you have to do it my way. I just think my way is super simple. You create, you put your character file in the characters folder, you name it like that. I'm going to include a way to make backups for the end user so they can uninstall mods. And it'll be fairly simple, because the installation portion itself, see, I'll include a line like this, right? where, I mean, this is for what I'm doing for Marvel vs. Capcom, but it'll be the same general idea, which is that it's going to search in this pack, remove, pull out the default files that you're replacing and place them into a backup folder, and then install your mod. This way, the end user can uninstall the mod if they want to install a different mod that's in the same character, or they want to go back to how the characters normally looks, or whatever. It makes it easy to install and uninstall mods using a simple script that I'm going to pre-write, and all you have to do is just change simple stuff like the parts that are specific to your um, character, the person that you're modding, whatever. So I'm going to now launch this. Yeah, say that. And it's going to install those two files that are in the mod folder into here. As you can see, the last time this was written was 244. And now it's 512. So now we have successfully modded the game and packed up our pack. And we can now take this and place it in the game and use it. So the way that it'll be written for distribution, as far as this script goes, the install mod script, it's not going to point to this directory. You, the end user will place this in their root Killer Instinct directory, and click on install, and it will install it to the packs directory, or the packs folder of Killer Instinct. It will, that way they don't have to worry about copying pasting any files or anything. Everything's gonna be super simple. Anyways, that's all the time I care to spend on discussing modding this game. The game's super limited on modding. It's textures only, so it's extremely simple. Hopefully other people get interested in modding this game and come up with ways so we can at least, even if we can't create custom meshes or models, that we can extract the models to load them up in Blender or something, to where we can make more intricate looking textures, because we will be working off of the 3D model instead of just a flat texture file. Anyways, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more tutorials like this. And if you have any requests or want me to show how to mod any specific game, or if there's a game that you want me to try to mod or look into, just leave it in the comment section below. You can hit me up on Twitter or my Patreon. Send me a private message on the modding forums, and I'll talk to you soon.